They smell you before you even see them. The air thickens, the wind stops, and then the sound hits something between a scream and a storm, coming fast. You run, but the pounding behind you grows louder. They're not stumbling, they're sprinting. Faster than you, faster than anything human. Subscribe to Think What If for more stories that push your imagination to the edge. You never thought the world could end in noise. The roads are cracked, the city's empty, and every echo feels alive. You press your back to a wall as shadows flash down the ruined street. The infected slide through every gap, their eyes glassy, their jaws locked open. You can smell copper in the air, sharp and metallic, the scent of blood. You look at your hands and wonder whose it is. You tell yourself not to move, not yet, but they can hear your heart, and it's beating too hard. You bolt. The gravel scrapes under your shoes. Every step feels slower than the one behind it. Your lungs burn, your legs scream, but they're still closing in. The world has evolved past your limits now. They don't get tired. They don't breathe. They don't stop. You turn a corner into an alley lined with broken glass, and one thought cuts through your panic. Speed is no longer safe. Speed is survival. Or maybe it's not enough anymore. Would you climb? Would you fight? Where do you draw the line between human and something that just isn't prey yet? You look up at a half-collapsed fire escape, grab the railing, and pull with everything left in your arms. Your shoes slip. One of them sees you. It screams so loud the metal shakes. You haul yourself onto the ledge, your fingers bleeding where the rust bites your skin. Below, they reach up like waves. Every face looks like someone you once knew. Do you look down longer than you should? The night stretches over the city like a bruise. Fires flicker in the distance, marking pockets of survivors, or maybe feeding grounds. You move across rooftops, quiet and low. Every gust carries sound, and you swear you hear voices. A child laughing, a woman calling your name. The infection doesn't just eat flesh, it eats memory. It reshapes the sound of hope into bait. And you want to believe. You want something to still feel human. Inside a half-burned apartment, you find food that expired months ago and a radio that whispers static. You twist the knob until a broken voice crackles through. Safe. Zone. North. It repeats until it fades. You stare out the window. North means hills. Hills mean distance. Distance means time. But time isn't mercy here. As you pack your bag, you catch your reflection in the glass. Dirt-streaked, eyes sunken. You wonder if you'd recognize yourself in daylight. If daylight even exists anymore. It's strange what fear does when it stays too long. It makes silence terrifying. You step onto a bridge washed in fog. The mist hides everything until one of them bursts through it, its face moments from yours. You dodge, swing your crowbar, feel the crack of bone. It collapses, twitching. Its eyes still watch you. Are they seeing you? Or are you already just another shape in its hunger? The sound pulls more of them out of the fog. The bridge trembles. You run again, always running. That's the rhythm of this world now, always running. By dawn, your shadow stretches across open fields. Grass hides what lies beneath. You hear the hum of flies before you see the bodies. Dozens of them, tangled, burned, still twitching. Someone tried to stop the spread. Fire never asks questions. You press a hand to your mouth and keep moving. In the distance, a shape moves against the light. Humans, maybe. You raise a hand to wave, but they drop to one knee, lift a rifle, and gesture down. You drop, breath caught. A second later, a pack of runners darted through the grass where you stood. The shot echoes. One falls. The rest scatter. When the stranger lowers the gun, you realize what it means. No one trusts movement anymore. You meet the stranger hours later in a shattered barn. Her voice is low. Her eyes never stop scanning the windows. "They're faster every week," she says, "like evolution's learning in real time." She tells you the infection rewires the body, reprograms the nerves, burns out pain. The result is speed that kills balance, hunger that never ends. You ask her if there's a cure. She smiles, tired. Cures for diseases. This is something else. She pauses, stares into the dark. You can't cure the next step of hunger. Night again. The stars look too bright, too cruel. You share the last can of beans in silence. Every noise outside snaps both your heads sideways. You whisper stories to stay awake, old memories of warmth, of mountains, of music. She listens like someone remembering a dream. Then she says something quiet. They say those who run the fastest were the ones who never gave up. Maybe we're the slow ones now. Her words hang between you. What if she's right? What if survival isn't about being human anymore? When morning comes, she's gone. Her pack is open. The rifle's gone too. Footprints lead toward the hills, joined by others. You can't tell which are hers and which belong to them. You follow anyway. The landscape shifts to rock and dust. The air grows thin. Every sound bounces from one cliff to the next, making it impossible to tell who's ahead and who's behind. You wipe sweat from your eyes and move faster, faster, always running. Halfway up the trail, you find a body. It's hers, or what's left of her. The bite marks are old. The eyes shimmer faintly, twitching in a dream that never ends. You kneel beside her and close your eyes. She opens hers. For a heartbeat, she looks at you. Not through you, at you. You pull back as her muscles spasm and she tries to stand. You make a choice before you can think. One swing. Silence. You wonder if the infection can feel pain or regret. The radio she carried works better than yours. You turn it on and hear that same static voice. North, mountain, safe. It's exactly the same as before. Not repeated by signal, recorded. A trap. Maybe something made to draw the last of humanity uphill. You almost laugh. The story had to end somewhere. You toss the radio off the cliff and start climbing anyway. Clouds roll in, heavy and gray. The temperature drops. You push through air so thin it feels like water. Behind you, in the valley, motion stirs. A black ribbon tearing through the field. Hundreds of them, thousands. Their speed defies physics. Every movement synchronized like a single pulse. You stumble. The sight fills your chest with a cold that isn't just fear. The world has outrun its creators. You reach the summit by dusk. The view shows what's left of civilization's smoke, silence, and the faint outline of roads swallowed by nature. A small building sits atop the ridge. Antennas, lights, the faint hum of machinery. You move closer, press your hand to the door. It opens. Inside, humming generators cast golden light across walls covered in maps, formulas, names. On a table, a logbook lies open, and one entry catches your eye. Phase 3, complete acceleration achieved. You read the pages, each line colder than the last. Once, there was a military project meant to enhance human reflexes. Speed, strength, endurance. The serum spread uncontrolled. The cure was never designed. It wasn't infection that created them. It was an ambition. Humanity built creatures faster than fear itself. And now, fear is all that's left. The generators flicker. A sound outside grows. The screech of claws on metal. You scramble to the back, find an elevator shaft, and drop inside, clinging to a rusted cable. The hatch above explodes open as one of them drops in, crashing down, arms snapping against the wall but still moving. You slide down fast, landing hard. Pain shoots through your leg. You limp through a corridor that smells of fuel and decay. There's nowhere left to run, so you stop. You draw a line on the floor with chalk you found in a pocket days ago, a habit from the world before. One step, one breath, one heartbeat. Always running, but not this time. You grip the crowbar tighter and listen to the pounding move closer. Maybe survival isn't about escaping. Maybe it's about choosing the terms of your ending. The first one appears in the tunnel light, head tilted, teeth glistening. You step forward. The world narrows to one rhythm: heartbeat, footstep, strike. When the light fades, all that remains is the sound of your breathing. Faint, ragged, alive. The tunnel stretches into darkness. You take one step forward, then another. The cold air fills your lungs. Maybe there's no safe zone at all. Maybe survival is the act itself, moving, fighting, remembering, always running. For a moment, you think about the city you left behind, the people you'll never meet again, the version of yourself that might have been faster. The wind carries whispers through the tunnel, familiar voices that almost sound like laughter. You keep walking into the dark, each step steady, slow, certain. Because if they run faster now, then you'll have to learn something else, something they've forgotten: how to keep going after fear. Outside, dawn breaks over the ruins. For the first time in days, the light feels real. You look at your hands, cracked and shaking, but still your own. Somewhere behind you, a single shriek rises, followed by silence. The world is still moving, and so are you, always running. Subscribe to Think What If for more worlds you should never forget.